Hello everyone. Chalo, in the last lecture we completed two colligative properties. One, that is elevation of the boiling point, and second was depression in freezing point. Today we'll discuss the fourth colligative property, and that is osmotic pressure. Totally new concept for you people. Listen to me carefully. Okay. So we studied lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point, and depression in freezing point. Now we are discussing osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure, it is denoted as pi. Osmotic pressure is denoted as pi. To study this osmotic pressure, we must know some terms, out of which one is semi-permeable membrane and second one is osmosis. So let us consider what does it mean. Let us discuss what is meant by semi-permeable membrane and what is osmosis. Okay. So semi-permeable membrane, in that first case, that is semi-permeable membrane. So membrane which allows to pass only solvent molecules through it and not bigger solute molecules. Such membrane is called as semi-permeable membrane. For example, cellophane, a transparent paper through which only solvent can pass but not solute particles. Okay, that is called as semi-permeable membrane. It allows to pass only solvent molecules and not solute molecules and not solute particles or molecules. That is called as semi-permeable membrane. So semi-permeable membrane, it allows to pass only solvent molecules and not solute molecules through it. That is known as semi-permeable membrane. Example I told you, cellophane. Okay. Then what is meant by osmosis? What is meant by osmosis? So to study this osmosis, let us consider one example. See, this is one container. This is another container. Okay. This container is separated. Partition is made by using semi-permeable membrane. Here also semi-permeable membrane is used. Now, here we have added pure solvent. Solvent is added in this compartment. Here we have added solvent. Okay. And here we have taken solution. Here we have taken solution. And here also solution. Then what is the difference between these two? This is at lower concentration and this is taken at higher concentration. Or we can say this is dilute solution and this is concentrated solution. Okay. So suppose in the beginning we have started with equal level of both these substances in this container. Okay. Equal level of both this in this container. Okay. Solvent and solution level is same. These two are separated by semi-permeable membrane. Here also we have taken one compartment which is semi-permeable membrane is used to make partition in this. One compartment contains dilute solution, that is solution at lower concentration. Other compartment contains concentrated solution, that is solution at higher concentration. What is found? After some time, this solvent level is decreased and solution level is increased. Here also this level is decreased and this level is increased. Getting my point? So as the time passes, okay, solvent flows. Actually, solvent can flow from solution into this, even from this into this. But what is the net flow? Here it is only solvent molecules, and this compartment contains solvent plus solute. So only solvent is passed into this. But the net flow, if we observe, then net flow is from solvent into solution. In both the compartments, solvent particles are exchanged. Solvent from this may enter into this, solvent from this may enter into this. But rate of mixing of solvent into solution is higher. In this case also, solvent from this side may enter here through semi-permeable membrane. Solvent from this side may enter into this compartment through this semi-permeable membrane. But if we see the rate of mixing of solvent at the lower concentrated solution is more than that in more concentrated. What did I say? Lower concentrated. Yes. So solvent from this enters into this compartment at higher rate than the solvent from this compartment into dilute solution compartment. Okay. So it is said that net flow of solvent. So net flow of solvent is in this direction. Here also net flow of solvent is in this direction. This net flow, this spontaneous movement of solvent into solution or solvent of dilute solution into solution having higher concentration is called as osmosis. So osmosis is net spontaneous flow. What is osmosis? It is net spontaneous net spontaneous flow of solvent into solution or solvent from less dilute solution, solvent from dilute solution to concentrated solution is called osmosis. Understood? What is osmosis? Osmosis means one directional flow, unidirectional flow, spontaneous flow of solvent into solution or solvent from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. Okay, that is called as osmosis. Clear these two terms? One is semi-permeable membrane. It is a membrane which allows to pass only solvent molecules through it and not solute particles. And what is osmosis? Osmosis is net spontaneous flow of solvent into solution or solvent of less concentrated solution into solvent of more concentrated solution is called as osmosis. Net spontaneous flow of solvent into solution or solvent from dilute solution to concentrated solution is called as osmosis. Now we will discuss the next term, that is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Okay. What is osmotic pressure? Pressure applied on the solution which prevents osmosis, that is called as osmotic pressure. Pressure applied on solution. Pressure on solution to prevent osmosis. To prevent osmosis is called as osmotic pressure. The pressure applied on the solution which prevents osmosis. When say, we know that movement of solvent into solution is spontaneous. Okay. Again we will discuss the beginning of this experiment. Okay. So here we have taken two compartments. Here we have taken one container which is separated by semi-permeable membrane. One compartment contains solvent and other compartment contains solution. Okay. Some pressure is applied on this solution. What do we know? Naturally, this solvent is going to enter into this solution, and we want to stop its entry into this solution. So for that purpose we have to apply some pressure on it. So if we apply pressure on it, so that this solvent will not be able to enter into this solution. Getting my point? Pressure applied on the solution is too much, means these particles in that solution are closely packed. From the top they are under pressure, means from here pressure is applied, and from here also some solvent molecules want to enter, but pressure on this is too high that the solvent cannot enter into this solution. So that pressure applied is called as osmotic pressure. Same is in this case. Here also apply some pressure. This solvent is going to enter into this compartment. So applied pressure on it. The pressure which balances or which stops the entry of this solvent into this compartment, that is called as osmotic pressure. Clear? So osmotic pressure is the pressure applied on the solution to prevent osmosis or to prevent flow of solvent into solution or flow of solvent in dilute solution to concentrated solution. That is called as osmotic pressure. They have explained this with the help of one example. They have taken here one sugar solution. This is solution. Okay. No, here water they have taken. This is water. And here they have used a thistle funnel or any thistle tube. Thistle funnel, if we consider, it is like this funnel in your lab, and it is covered, its mouth is covered with a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, and required liquid is taken in this. Suppose this thistle funnel, this contains sugar solution in it. It contains sugar solution in it. So this is water and this is solution. Water means plain water, no solute in it, means obviously its concentration is low. Less concentrated solution enters into more concentrated solution. Solution means solvent of that. Okay, so water is going to enter into this thistle tube, right? So some amount of water enters into this, and the level of solution in this is increased, and a pressure is exerted by this liquid in the thistle tube on this solution, so that entry of solvent into this thistle tube is prevented. Okay, and that pressure develops here automatically, naturally that pressure is exerted, and that pressure is called as hydrostatic pressure. That pressure is called as hydrostatic pressure, and hydrostatic pressure is denoted as H rho g. H, height of this column. Okay, rho, density of this solution, and g, acceleration due to gravity. So hydrostatic pressure is H rho g. Very few questions are there in MCQs. Hydrostatic pressure is H rho g. Is this clear? What is osmotic pressure? So what was the experiment to explain this osmosis and osmotic pressure? They have taken one container containing water in it. One thistle tube is taken. Its mouth is closed with a semi-permeable membrane. Thistle tube contains some amount of water solution, say salt solution, no salt is electrolyte, say sugar solution. It contains sugar solution in it. Sugar solution means sugar is there in that solution, so it is concentrated. Here no sugar, means as compared to this it is dilute solution, so water is going to enter into this thistle tube through semi-permeable membrane, but up to certain level it is allowed to enter. This entry of water into solution is osmosis, and due to its entry some aqueous tension, a pressure is created in this thistle tube, okay, on its own, and that pressure exerted does not allow water to enter into this thistle tube. So the pressure exerted is called as hydrostatic pressure, and that hydrostatic pressure is playing the role of osmotic pressure. How to calculate hydrostatic pressure? So they have given formula as H rho G. H is height of that column, rho is density of this solution, G is the acceleration due to gravity. Clear these three terms? Semi-permeable membrane, which allows to pass only solvent molecule, not solute. Osmosis, movement of solvent into solution, or less concentrated solution into more concentrated solution. Spontaneous flow, that is osmosis. And what is osmotic pressure? Pressure which prevents, which stops osmosis, that is called as osmotic pressure. Okay. Now, next point, different types of osmotic pressure or different types of solutions are there. Okay. See, three terms they have given here. One is isotonic solution, second one is hypertonic solution, and third one is hypotonic solution. Okay, what is it? First one is isotonic solution. Isotonic solution. Iso means same. Isotonic solution means solution having same osmotic pressure. Okay, so two solutions having same osmotic pressure, are called as isotonic solution. Solutions having same osmotic pressure are called as osmotic solution. They have same osmotic pressure, it means they have same molar concentration. Okay, their concentration in gram per ml is different. What does it mean? I'll explain. See, suppose we have here 1 molar glucose solution, and here we have 1 molar urea solution. We studied molarity. 1 molar glucose. How do we prepare molar solution? What is definition of molarity? 1 mole of solvent, 1 mole of solute is dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Then the resultant solution is called as molar solution. So, number of moles per liter is molarity. What is the molarity given here? 1. It means that 1 molar glucose means 1 mole glucose is present in 1000 ml solution, and 1 molar urea, it means 1 mole urea is present in 1000 ml of solution. Clear? So their molar concentration is same, means 1 mole of glucose and 1 mole of urea. Means how many particles of glucose? 1 mole is Avogadro number of particles. So this solution contains 6 into 10 raised to 23 glucose particles. Even this solution contains 6 into 10 raised to 23 urea particles. Number of particles are same. Means their osmotic pressure is same, because colligative property depends upon number of particles. So if number of particles in two solutions are same, it means they have same osmotic pressure. So same osmotic pressure, two solutions having same osmotic pressure are called as isotonic solution. They have same osmotic pressure means they have same molar concentration, but different gram per liter or gram per ml concentration. Molar concentration is expressed in mole per liter. If we express that concentration in gram per liter, then that concentration differs. Means what? 1 mole of glucose. Glucose has formula C6H12O6. If we calculate its molecular weight, it is found to be 180 gram. 180 gram is present in 1 liter. and urea is NH2CO NH2. Its molar mass is 60. So 60 gram is present in 1 liter. Means their concentration in gram per liter is different. Clear this point? So isotonic solutions are solutions having same osmotic pressure. They have same osmotic pressure means they have same molar concentration, but they have different gram per liter concentration. 1 molar glucose means 180 gram per liter and 1 molar urea means 60 gram per liter. So their gram per liter concentration is different, but mole per liter concentration is same, and that only we have to consider, not gram per liter. Okay. Next one. This is isotonic solution. Okay. Second they have given, that is hypertonic solution. Hypertonic, and other one is hypotonic solution. Hypertonic and hypotonic. We always say na, hyper means higher. Okay. So hypertonic solution means higher osmotic pressure. So two solutions out of which one have higher molar concentration, it's said to be hypertonic solution, or the one having higher osmotic pressure. Suppose two solutions are there. So pi 1 and pi 2. So pi 1 is greater. So pi 1 is said to be hypertonic solution, and pi 2 is said to be hypotonic solution. So hypertonic having higher osmotic pressure, and hypo means low. Hypo, so lower osmotic pressure. Solution having higher osmotic pressure is called as hypertonic solution. Solution having lower osmotic pressure is called as hypotonic solution. What about their number of moles? Number of moles in this case are higher, right? 1 molar glucose, and here we have taken 0.1 molar glucose. Both are glucose solution, but this is concentrated. Means this its osmotic pressure is pi 1, its osmotic pressure is pi 2. So this is hypertonic, this is hypotonic. Hypertonic always have more number of moles, and hypotonic always have less number of moles in it. Clear these three terms? One is isotonic solution, second one is hypertonic solution, and third one is hypotonic solution. Isotonic means same osmotic pressure, same molar concentration. Hypertonic means higher osmotic pressure and higher concentration, right? 1 molar glucose means its concentration is higher pi and higher concentration. Lower pi, lower concentration. Okay, so hypertonic solution means out of two solution, the one having higher osmotic pressure is called as hypertonic solution, and other solution having lower osmotic pressure is called as hypotonic solution. It has low osmotic pressure as well as low concentration. So question is there, define isotonic or hypertonic or hypotonic solution. Many numericals were to solve based on isotonic concept. Okay, now how this osmotic pressure is used to find molar mass of solute, that we will discuss. Okay, every colligative property is used to find molar mass of solute. It is said that this method is good method among all the 4 methods to find molar mass of solute. Okay, precisely it gives us molar mass of solute. So this is a good method to find molar mass of solute. Okay, how to find molar mass of solute? Okay, so last year we studied different laws: Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law. Okay, these laws we discussed for gaseous state of matter. In your old syllabus, they gave same laws for solution, and these laws were discovered by scientist Van 't Hoff. So Van 't Hoff taken reference of Boyle's law and he applied same concept for solutions, and he found the same result, and that law was known as Van 't Hoff Boyle's law. same want of Charles law, want of Avogadro's law. Okay. This year they have removed the statements of these laws, but they have summarized all these laws together. Okay. So in short, I'll tell you. So according to this old gaseous laws and laws for solution, here one law is there, but that law is not mentioned in your syllabus. What is it? Boyle's law says that pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So we can say pressure of solution means osmotic pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Okay. Second law, that is Lusac's law. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So for solution, osmotic pressure is directly proportional to temperature. And Avogadro's law, equal volume of all the solution contains equal number of moles. Here just modification, little modification, equal volume of all the isotonic solutions have equal number of moles. So pi is proportional to T upon V, and according to Avogadro's law, NT upon V. Okay. Remove this proportionality sign. So we get pi is equal to nRT upon V. R is gas constant, here it is solution constant. And what is the value of R? R is 0.08206 liter atmosphere. Last year we studied different values of R. R is expressed in joule, 8.314, in calories as 2 calories, and in liter atmosphere it is 0.08206 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. This is the value of R. But what do we know? But N upon V is nothing but molarity of the solution. Number of moles per liter of solution is nothing but molarity. So we get one more formula. Pi is equal to MRT. Pi is equal to MRT. Okay. Call this equation 1. Now we have to find molar mass. We have to find molar mass with the help of this osmotic pressure. So consider this equation 1. Okay. What is meant by N value? N is equal to given weight upon molecular weight. What is pi? Pi is osmotic pressure of solution. N means what? Number of moles of solute. R, that gas constant, or here we can say solution constant. T, a particular temperature. V, volume of that solution. Okay. N upon V is M. Here we consider molarity. In previous two colligative properties we consider molality, and here we have to consider molarity, because at particular temperature we are finding osmotic pressure. So there is no change in the value of molarity. So it is better to use molarity instead of molality in case of osmotic pressure. So we get pi is equal to MRT, or we can say CRT, concentration. In old book it was given CRT. In your book they have replaced this C by N. M for molarity. Now here N means number of moles of solute, and number of moles nothing but W2 upon M2, given weight upon molecular weight. Put this value in 1. Put it in equation 1. So what do we get? Pi is equal to W2 RT upon M2 into V. Rearrange this. So we get M2 is equal to W2 RT upon pi into V. So this is the formula with the help of which we can find molar mass of solute. Is this clear? Molar mass of solute with the help of osmotic pressure. So what is it? Osmotic pressure, pi is directly proportional to number of moles. Pi is directly proportional to temperature. If temperature increase, osmotic pressure is increased. And it is inversely proportional to volume of the solution. So remove this proportional sign, we get pi is equal to nRT upon V. N, or we can say N2. What is given in your textbook? It is N2RT. Okay, better to use N2. N2, 2 for solute. So N2RT. So we get N2 is equal to W2 upon M2, weight of solute upon molar mass of solute. Okay. And put this value of N2 in this equation, we get pi is equal to W2RT upon M2V. So M2 is equal to W2RT upon pi V. And what is the value of R? R is 0.08206. Value of R to be used to solve numericals of this chapter must be 0.08206. If they have given value of R is 8.314, then use that value. If they don't provide value of R, then we have to take that value as 0.08205 or 06. Where volume is expressed in liter and pressure is expressed in atmosphere. Liter, atmosphere. I told you. When do we use this unit? Okay. And N upon V is nothing but molarity, or we can say N2 upon V is nothing but molarity. So pi can also be determined by using equation MRT, molarity into R into T. Okay. These are 4 colligative properties. Only one last point is remaining, that is electrolyte also show colligative property, but not like non-electrolyte. Some difference is found due to different number of particles observed than expected. So what is it? Colligative properties of electrolyte we will continue in the next lecture.